again, it's Miss Diane from Finkelstein Memorial Library, and today we're going to be making hot fudge pudding cake. So you might be saying to yourself, what is that? It's like a cake and a pudding, but in one dish. And what's great is that just like our wacky cake, we can mix it and bake it right in the same pan. In fact, you'll notice a lot of the ingredients we use for this are the same things we used for the wacky cake, minus a couple things like vinegar. But the result is quite different. So you're going to start off by preheating your oven to 350, and then we're going to take 1 cup of flour. Oh, you want to use an 8x8 pan, and you want to make sure it's greased before you start adding the ingredients into it. So we need 1 cup of flour. And then we need our ½ teaspoon of salt. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to do anywhere between 6 to 8 tablespoons of cocoa powder. This is unsweetened cocoa powder. I did 7 because I like things in between, but it's your choice. This recipe, by the way, is coming from the King Arthur Flour 200th Anniversary Cookbook. What's great is that a lot of the recipes can be found right in Overdrive. I don't remember if they have this book exactly, but I do know that they have other King Arthur Flour cookbooks, and they are great if you want to learn how to bake. Alright, and then we're going to add in our sugar. That was 1½ cups of sugar. Thank you for asking. So right now we are completely mixing everything up all together. Just like you did with our wacky cake, we're going to mix everything right in the pan. Make sure you get everything really well blended, especially that cocoa powder. And it's a big thank you to Mel for holding the camera while I do all of this, since she's the actual chef and I'm the librarian, but I'm the one teaching you how to bake. Crazy, right? Alright. Alright, we're almost there. I got a lump. I saw a lump. Alright. Okay. So that is looking pretty decent. A wire whisk would probably work best here. I should have grabbed one. Whoopsie. Okay, or even a fork. A fork would have worked better too. Alrighty. Alright, so moving on to the wet ingredients. You guys, I do not make this often. I don't have this one memorized. Very sad. Okay, so we are going to take vanilla. Okay, just 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we don't have to make wells like we did for the wacky cake. We're just going to pour that in. But we're not going to mix it in yet. This is a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, but if you wanted to, you could use a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Nice richer flavor, although I know butter is kind of hard to find right now, so vegetable oil will have to work. Okay, here's where it gets a little weird. Just like with our wacky cake, we are now going to pour water all over everything. In this case, it's 2 cups of water. Okay, and now we're going to blend everything in. This gets a little tricky, not to make a mess. Alright, I was skeptical about the part where you blend it in the same pan. It is coming together, but this probably would have been
easier and faster if I had done this in a separate pan.
Okay, so it turns out that mixing and baking in the same pan, kind of difficult, but with the mini wire whisk, it worked. So we are ready to fold in some chopped walnuts. That's about a half a cup of chopped walnuts. Great. Those are optional. But who doesn't love walnuts with chocolate? Okay, you can use pecans too. Alright, so we're going to bake this in our 355 degree oven. Excuse me. Our 350 degree oven for about 45 minutes. Now our hot fudge pudding cake is out of the oven. That was about 45 minutes. I put it in for an extra 2. And now our moment of truth. Let's make sure we have some pudding underneath this cake. Alright, seems promising. Alrighty. And there it is. We can see our pudding right there. I'm going to dollop that right over the top. And there we have it. Hot fudge pudding cake. Enjoy. See you next week.